But I want to bring up this conversation I was thinking about yesterday when it came to these abusive men. And not just abusive men either, it's women too. But like, I'm just going to start with the abusive men. These abusive men in the industry who do these horrible things, and then they do these horrible things. Let's take example Chris Brown. This is just an example, okay? So don't even come on here trying to act nothing. I'm just using an example. People will say how terrible Chris Brown is, right? And he is. He is. And people will say how terrible Chris Brown is and how, he's done X, Y, and Z and how he's doing all these things and how he continues to do all these things to this day and all of these things, right? And they'll say all these things, right? And like, even people in the industry who he's like friends with or, he's collaborated with on songs or whatever will say all this stuff about him, right? And then you will see them cozying up next to him. You'll see things like, I think I saw like a few weeks ago or a month ago or something, I don't even remember. But I think I saw like a headline somewhere that Karrueche Tran, Karrueche Tran, she had like a restraining order against Chris Brown for like the stuff that he put her through. I think that she lifted that and they're like hanging out now or something. And I just wanted to bring up, it's so interesting because I was watching like live footage from the Diddy case of, outside the courtroom and stuff, in the courthouse and stuff. And I was seeing, it's the same thing with the R. Kelly case. I was seeing all of these people, and a lot of them are women, but they were also, clown men, and specifically black women and clown black men, who were out there saying free Diddy. They were out there saying free Puff. They were out there saying bad boy. And it was really, really disgusting. Like, truly disgusting. And they did the same thing when it came to the R. Kelly stuff, too. And they did the same thing with Bill Cosby. And they always want to bring up the race issue. They always want to bring up tearing a black man down and all of this BS, right? And it's like, whenever there are horrible people, horrible black men, horrible men in general, horrible black women, horrible women in general, in the industry or wherever, and there are these powerful people, y'all have the tendency to be like, yeah, these people are horrible, right? But then when they're actually about to get convicted or whatever, y'all will totally, and not all of y'all, because there's a sector of y'all who are like, actually have brain cells and will actually be like, yeah, this is all really messed up. They deserve to be in jail. But then there's this other sector who is so brainwashed because they're already letting Uncle who and who, Brother so and so, Grandpa who and who do these things to their children, their cousins, their sisters, and they're looking the other way and they don't care. Daddy who and who, right? So y'all still letting these people hang out in the family. Y'all still letting these people come to the barbecue. Y'all still letting these people come to the cookout. Y'all still letting these people hang around the house. And y'all don't care that they're doing what's and what's with who and who, young girl. Okay? And that's why y'all always be saying it's okay for these people to still be roaming around here, these powerful men, these powerful women, to be roaming around here doing X, Y, and Z to not only young kids, right, but just people in the industry who are just trying to make it a name for themselves because they have actual talent and they're just trying to be out there making a name for themselves, but then they get hooked up with these notoriously horrible predators, and then they get hooked up into this, and then they have trauma, and then their life is ruined. But we don't ever hold the people who do this trauma accountable, because then there's always people who, like the crowd outside of the Diddy, trial, out of the courthouse, and people who are outside of the courthouse of the R. Kelly trial, yelling how these people need to be free, yelling about racism, and yelling about how trying to tear a black man down or a black woman down or whoever. And I'm just like looking at y'all like, and this is the problem, like, people do not keep certain people accountable, and then it looks really bad. Like, Karrueche Tran, I get it, okay? Like, the restraining order was valid, probably. Okay, let's just say that. It was probably valid because, yeah. But then for you to go and act like, oh, well, I'm not going to have the restraining order no more. It's fine. We can hang out now. Like, what, ma'am? Like, what? Like, it was kind of like what happened with Rihanna. And yes, I'm bringing it up. I don't care. What happened with Rihanna, and then not even like a few years later, she was hanging out with this man. Like, you confuse people, first of all. Because there are certain people who are actually like, yeah, we want to support you. But then if you're like, well, no, it's fine, we can hang out with these people, then it's like, so what's the tea? What's the deal? What's going on? Like, we don't understand, right? And it's like, what you're really showing to especially young girls of any race, young girls, young boys of any race, you're showing them that they don't even need to come out and talk about the fact that they are being abused physically, sexually, whatever. They don't need to ever come out and talk about this stuff, because no one's ever going to believe them, because y'all will continue to protect these predators. And it's literally disgusting, and I literally hate it every single time this happens. Like, it really pisses me off. Like, on a deep level, I don't like this. This is disgusting. It's harmful, and I don't understand why y'all do it. These people are not worth it. You guys do not have the talent that you say you have to be able to just do these things on your own. Like, you do not have to protect these people. These people are not good, and you should be glad they're going to jail. You should be glad that they're getting held accountable for the things that they need to be held accountable for. But then when you don't hold them accountable, it really is hurtful to the actual victims or people who actually want to keep these people accountable. It hurts them, because then it's like, well, these people will never really be held accountable because y'all don't keep them accountable. And it's gross. It's gross. It's really, really gross. So to all the people who support people like Diddy, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Chris Brown, freaking Trey Songz, who needs to be next, 100%, freaking, okay, like, be serious, okay, like, please, okay, y'all don't care about victims, and then if you're an actual victim yourself, you will totally make it hard for other victims, because y'all will be flip-flopping, and I don't like that. I don't like that. But to all the people who support people like them, DDG and all the other ones, Tory Lanez, I hate you, first of all, because you're scum. You're terrible, terrible, terrible people. And yeah, Diddy is guilty, and rightfully so. And I hope the rest of Hollywood, not just hip-hop, but Hollywood, is shaking in their boots, because they should be. And I hope all the rest of you go down, and I hope all the rest of you go to jail, because you need to. ASAP.